You're listening to the Slapstick Hockey Podcast,
your premier amateur hockey podcast.
Which explains a lot.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Unnamed Podcast. We have no sponsors, and I'm telling you, we're here for episode 2. Nobody thought it would happen. We are here talking about the origin of the Bandits, something that so many people have not asked online, but we are here to talk about it. We have so many people and questions from the audience. We got Jacob Murphy on the line. We got Nate Harber. We got Guy Schaefer, and we got the legend, great, the powerful Marc Hodges. Welcome, everybody, to the podcast. Let's get started. Nate, you got some questions for us. Let's get started.
Hey, Mark. What's up, Mark? By the way, we should go ahead and introduce you, Marc Hodges.
That's true.
If you would like to, go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourself and your title, because I think it's pretty cool.
Marc Hodges, originally out of St. Louis, Missouri. Now I'm out of Coleman, Alabama, but play out of Huntsville, Alabama. And I'm the founding member of the Bandits team of the whole, and currently the president of the Bandits nonprofit hockey group.
Yeah, that carries a lot of weight, Mark. The Bandits is the biggest beer league team in America. So how does that feel?
Honestly, not a whole lot different than any other beer league team I play on. As someone who doesn't nothing, if I'm being honest, it's the social media is not something to you because I've never been a social media guy. But no, it is a little bit weird whenever you go to other cities and people know who the Bandits are, and when they hear that you play for the Bandits or you're with the Bandits, it's a wild concept that other people know who you are, cities, and you're not just playing beer league. People actually know who you are at this point.
That's very true, Mark. How does it feel to know that dozens of families know who you are?
I don't know if it's that high. If I'm sure if some of my family does know who I am, and I'm related to them. It's whenever the Bandits logo ended up at the event out in Colorado, I sent a picture to one of my brothers, and they went, "Why does that matter?" Not knowing that the Bandits was with me. So I mean, but you have not had to realize is what I do or where I stand in on some things.
And isn't that the type of fame that we all aspire to? You know what I mean? It's the type of fame where, like, when your logo that you have worked for literal years to, like, push out into the world, and somebody's like, what is that? Like, that's where I want to be, I think it's like right place, right time in history for us, I think, all to be right here where we are.
Absolutely. With the 12 other families.
True.
The 12 tribes. No, I'm kidding.
Well, I think something that I want to do for every episode is read fan-submitted questions. And, guys, we have one for this episode.
Nice.
Which is more than 0, which was what we had for the last episode. So,
which is difficult, but, Nate, can I stop you right there? It's very hard for the fans or fan of the show to give us a question when they don't know that we're doing this. So,
well, to be fair, I did make a post asking for questions for the podcast, and this person didn't answer it until after we recorded episode 1. So I'm reading his question, which is for episode 1, but I did it in the day after I posted it.
Nice, Nate.
Please say the question is, what is the name of the podcast?
It's actually a great question, and I've been watched this several times by lots of different people. So this is from dad_bod 1980. So I'm assuming that's his birthday.
And definitely not Nate Harber on a shadow account. Definitely not.
I was not born in the 80s, not an 80s baby. But he does ask us, do you guys pre-write jokes on the broadcast, or are they just off the cuff? Landon and Guy have great chemistry, so I was just wondering. I get asked this all the time from lots of different people if we record the games and then go and post or dub over with the jokes. So I will actually let Guy and Landon take this one since the question is more directed at you guys. But what do you think, guys? Do we do it live or do we do it in post?
It's live.
I could not be any more clear if you've watched our broadcast and you think that we have the ability to do any sort of writing or information beforehand, I mean, Godspeed to you. You know what I mean? No, it is 110% off the cuff. It is, I mean, you get what you see. It is literally me and Guy just riffing. I am supported so heavily from Guy and Murph, who actually know what they're doing. And I get the unique perspective of just sitting there and being silly. So from my perspective, Guy is calling the game or Murph is calling the game. They're actually paying attention. And I get to, as a, secondary fan of the game, just sit back and wait for my opportunity to say something very silly. So everything that I say is 100%. I do zero research. I take no credit for any research that is happening. I take no credit for any actual correct calls that are happening. No, I am the vibes guy. I am just there to have fun. So from my perspective, I don't write anything ahead of time.
And yet, you are the star of a how-to series to do slap shots and skating and all that sort of stuff. So that's
very, very true. Very true. Yes. Yeah. No, the skits I would say are, I don't know if it's kind of weird because I would say for the majority of the part, the skits that we write are loosely frameworked, but they're not scripted. Like Guy being, yes. Yeah. Guy being a ref is just Guy out there just doing it. Like us up there in the stands, we're just doing it. Me giving advice, it's very, very loose framework of, hey, this is what we want to do. Let's just see what happens. But yeah, no, as far as it goes as like actual player names or like what's happening, that's 100% Murph. Like actual play calls, that's Guy actually knowing what's happening in the game. And I am just there to have fun.
Well, I think that kind of leads into the topic of today's episode. A lot of people ask us like how we got started, what are the origins of us, and that's one reason why I wanted to have Marc Hodges on here, because he is one of the founders of the original Bandits team. So I kind of wanted to go through, I guess, our history, origins, how we got started, how we got from point A to point B. How did this start from just a bunch of guys wanting to play it together, and then growing a social media presence into, I guess, technically what is now the biggest beer league team in America, which is crazy to say. But Marc, how did things get started with you? What's the first member you have with the Bandits? Who came up with the name? Where did the logo come from? And who was on your first team? Like how did all this come about?
So it was a little bit, the wild is an understatement of how just, three idiots came together with a team, for lack of better words. When I moved back down here, it was 2020. COVID had hit. I played beer league in college down here when I went to school down here. And so I was trying to get back into it. At the time, the rink was under renovation. So we weren't even playing at our normal rink. We were actually playing at the Von Braun. And so I was trying to get in on that, and I found just a random team to play for. Let's just say our season wasn't going the best when they brought me back again. For the following year, I think we won maybe one game that year, and most games we were losing by 8, 9, 10 goals easy, which is no one's there to win every game in beer league, but it hurts. It hurts when you're losing by that much. It hurts more. You go home and you're supposed to be excited to go play beer league on Sundays. Let me tell you, you're not. Whenever you're just gonna get bent over every Sunday. When I was actually at a Halloween party for some friends that I had up in Huntsville, and I met Rob at the time, Rob Healy, and it was at his house. We talked and realized that we played hockey in the same beer league, same group. Didn't really know each other on the ice type of deal, but it was a great connection. And I think it was maybe 2 months later, it's spring that year, we came in and he hit me up out of the blue. I hadn't talked to him since the Halloween party. He was like, I hear that you're not loving losing, which that's a fair statement. He was a little bit tired of the team he was with, and there's a third guy that was tired of riding the bench. Because, no one signs up for beer league just to ride the bench.
Yeah, no kidding.
Guys. And the team he was on was really, really focused on, I want the best players out there as much as I can because we care about winning this game. And at the end of the day, it's beer. We want to win, but no one should have to ride pine just because they're not as good as the rest. They pay them as much as the rest of us. He said, how do you feel about starting up a team? And I said, I don't know, man. I don't know anyone from Huntsville. I'm not from Huntsville. I don't live in Huntsville. He said, we can find the players. Do you want to be part of this? Start it up. I said, sure. Never expecting it to turn into anything. About a month later, I'd say, he hit me back up. He says, hey, we got permission to start a team. It's going to be me, you, and Chad Deshawn. That was our third member at the time. And so we started up a team. Really didn't have a whole lot of guys we could call in, but the way our league works is draft style. But we were through, and we knew enough guys from playing in it long enough between the three of us that we could draft a decent team. And we did fairly well that year. We were able to pull together a bunch of guys, and I think that was the year that we got second. We either lost in the semifinals or got second. I can't remember for all year. And we decided for that summer, let's split in the two different teams for summer league, which is way less competitive. See as many guys as we can. Find a bunch of guys. That's when I brought in Nate. That was part of the group. And at the time, I was living with one of my buddy's cousins, and he goes, I work with a bunch of Canadians that want to play hockey, but they want to play with me. And this dude's from Coleman, Alabama. He's never touched ice in his life. He sees me leave every Sunday to play hockey. He sees me watch hockey throughout the week. He's like, they want to play with me, but I can't play it. Give me a couple months. Let me get you on skates. Let's get this rolling. And that turned out to be Kansas Bay. And he worked with Ren Pell and all the Rocks guys. Mark Rocks, all his names. So all the Roxies are with him. We brought them in that fall. And let's just say that fall was a bloodbath. I don't know if there's another way to put it. There was an absolute bloodbath at the time. I think that might have been the year we brought in Longley also as our goalie. And so it turned into a bloodbath. And from there, it really took off. I think it was either 2 or 2.5 years undefeated at the time with the band, and that things roar and during non-profit and everything. It was a big thing. A lot of Huntsville did not love us.
Mark, I remember playing against you guys when you had Ren, Brandon Canada, all those guys, Aaron Mitchell, and I was on the Kraken. I just moved here. It was like one of my first games against you guys. It was like 8-0 in the second period. And I was like, how the hell are these guys a team? I thought it was a draft. And no, you guys dominated. I mean, you're on 4 straight cups in a row now?
It's either 4 or 5 now. I honestly couldn't tell you.
I think you've done 4. You've tied the record at 4. You're going for 5.
That's what it is. Going for
5. Yeah. So anyway, not to interrupt you, but no, that team, I remember when I moved here and played in my first year with the Kraken and C, I was like, you guys beat the shit out of us every game. And I hated the Bandits. I hated them.
A lot of people do, and once they get that.
And let me tell you something. I still hate the Bandits. Do you know what I mean? And I never even played against them, but I hate them.
Taylor Crashley, another guy. Anyway,
it's funny that you guys had that stereotype of Canadians being great at hockey, right? That whole crew, the guys that were actually pretty decent were the Rocks boys. Like, as far as skating, and they kind of knew the game stuff. But Ren Pelly, even though he's Canadian, I asked him one time, he said, no, most of my hockey was learned down here. He said, I just didn't play it in Canada very much. So even though he is from Canada, most of his hockey actually was learned here. And he still makes me smile when I think of those games when you guys scored those goals with like 2 seconds left and all that. It was great.
It's like watching the Hansons brothers.
And for those who don't know, Ren Pelly is Swag Daddy. The guys who watch the clips and follow along, Ren Pelly, I think Jacob Murphy came up with the name. He is affectionately named Swag Daddy now. So that's kind of the nickname that stuck with him.
And I'll say, correct me if I'm wrong, I believe Mark Rocks is the only one that was actually born in Canada, I think.
Yeah.
He might have moved there right after Bert, but I think
It's a wild situation where it is twins, but only one of them are born in Canada. The other one is born just directly on the border. So one's Canadian, one's American. It's a dicey situation.
isn't there a Markland joke about that of the group? And I believe is Canadian. And then his son is, what is it?
Zach and Evan.
No, Zach. What's his younger brother?
I think Evan.
Evan.
Yeah.
I know Evan played in high school and all that. And
He's good.
originally we didn't even have Evan. It
Mhm.
was Zach that we had for I think a full season, if not two. And then Mark got brought in, and then after they got actually kicked out of C, and had to go over to the Havoc League.
As they should have been. They were too good.
I can't say that as their, I wouldn't have been better ever, but yes, no, they went to a good fit with time, and that's when Evan joined up and started playing with them. So now there's 3 Rocks that play on the same team, along with Rim, and that is a crazy combo of these things.
Yeah, I was playing in the summer league, and I hit one of them, and then all of a sudden the other 2 appeared. I was like, I'm about to get fucked up. It was just 3 blonde, beautiful men up in my face. And I was like, this is not going well for me. And I was like, oh, shit, that's his dad and brother out there. And no, but they're great people. I've gotten to know them a lot better. And, yeah, in C, your team was like the only team that could pass the puck. And that's what made you guys so much better is you guys actually were passing. I'm like, I was sitting on the bench. I remember one game, I'm like, they're fucking running plays out here, and they have lines. They know what they're doing. And that's a testament to you, Mark. You've done such a good job running that team and keeping the core group together. I think you've done such a good job creating a community and like a family out of that team, man. It's really impressive.
I'll say what that really began with, and I think it was in place whenever they joined up, is we have what we call drinks every week. And drinks, in a lot of beer leagues, that means you're bringing a case of beer for all the boys. And I get that helps for everyone. And in our rink, you're not allowed to have beer in the locker room from outside, technically. And so what our drinks were when we began is juice boxes and a snack. And I mean, like, this better be fruit roll-ups. This better be orange slices. This better be what kids dream of when they play, chase the ball soccer type of deal. Your mom better make these snacks. And the only
No, believe me, I played AYSO. I know what you're talking about.
in post game, our 3 stars of the game were 3 Yoo-Hoos. And so we had the old school glass Yoo-Hoo bottles that we would hand out after every game. That was the 3.
I was very confused about that, Mark. I'm not gonna lie.
I don't even remember where it started, if I'm being honest, but it hits home. There's all the guys have loved it. And if someone missed a week, let me tell you, they were berated in the locker room. Berated if you don't have a juice pouch whenever you win a game. I mean, you earned your juice pouch. It's
Capri Suns and Yoo-Hoos. I remember that.
it hits well, and I know it sounds stupid, but it really brings the team together fast. And if an outsider comes in as a new player, they see it, and I think it's whack for the first couple weeks. And you can watch their mind change after about week 3 or week 4. And they just get so excited when the juice pouches come. It's insane. It really does help that team.
I mean, I'll be honest. I have a very sincere, like, heartfelt connection to Yoo-Hoo. When I was in 3rd grade, I actually won a year's worth of Yoo-Hoo from a drawing contest about skateboards. Yoo-Hoo was doing a skateboard line to connect with the X Games, and I submitted a drawing and I actually won, like, a contest. And I got a year's worth of Yoo-Hoos. So Yoo-Hoos, in, like, the cockles of my heart, will always be the 10 out of 10 drink of my choice. So if Yoo-Hoos are involved,
You really win that?
no, I could not be more serious about my love of Yoo-Hoo, the brand, the people that run the company, the product itself. I have a full-throated endorsement. We have no sponsors at this point, by the way, for the audience. We have 0 sponsors. The first sponsor that we get, if it's not Yoo-Hoo, I will be disappointed. But if at any point in the future that Yoo-Hoo wants to come in and do anything, I'm talking like $1 endorsement, and it doesn't even matter if there's $1. I will continue to sing the praises of Yoo-Hoo from now until the day that I die.
I raised one objection to that, Landon. if CC's on University in Huntsville wants to sponsor the podcast, that's also the original sponsors of the Bandits. And if you look at any old school Bandit, if they're wearing their original helmet, there's a round golf ball size CC sticker on their helmet.
These
$120 from the owners.
Wait, CC's Pizza? Like the multiple pizza joint? Oh, shit. I did not know that we were high class like this.
Yeah.
Jeez Louise, you guys have been big dogging me this whole time. I didn't know we had a CC's Pizza endorsement.
So, Mark, what year did you guys start talking about becoming a nonprofit? And just maybe kind of talk about that journey real quick, because it's very interesting.
I'm going to have Nate double check me on that. I think it was late 21.
I started the socials in 2022.
Was it 22?
Yeah, it was in November 2022 is when the social started going, and it was right around the same time. So I think the nonprofit officially started like September of 23, but I think talk about it was like November or December of 22.
Yeah, no, it was 22. I remember that distinctly because it was November of 2022, because that's when I got COVID for the first time. And that's when I really knew that like COVID was a real thing. Like it was, you know what I mean? Because I had my doubts, but no, it like got me. You know what I mean?
You doofus.
We had talked about it. And if we're being honest, off the rip, you're a pure league team and you're looking at, how can we get sponsors? Well, what's the best way to get sponsors? At the end of the day, if they can write off money, that's amazing. So it's like, all right, if we have a nonprofit, what can it be for? And if you look at some of our founding members, I'm not going to say any of them by name just because it can get a little bit personal with some of them. Some of them were coming.
Because a lot of them are in jail now.
It's not even that, but it's, a lot of them were coming out of the military or had in the last few years. And a lot of people in that transition can have issues in their head. And when you watch a veteran, and I've seen it, I'm going to say at least 20 times now throughout the years with the Bandits, you watch a veteran step into hockey and you can see all the stress in their home life and what's going on. And whenever they're getting that stress in the home life and they go to play hockey, they get the camaraderie of the team. And that they get out there and they get the physical activity and just having a couple of drinks with the guys afterwards. And it really shows that you can watch a transition from being a stressful endeavor, it's something that's a hardship on their life, into something that really helps them deal with that stress. And so that's whenever we decided that nonprofit need to be focused about that and getting nonprofit and the hockey community as a whole to build up in that community, because Huntsville's a major military town. And so being able with a nonprofit at that point, that felt like a great connection for us. One of our founders of the nonprofit stands is former military. I think he still reserves currently. And I grew up as a military brat. I'm a contractor, so I see military all the time. A lot of the guys I hang out with are military. It's watching that help that group of people is something that really hits home.
And correct me if I'm wrong, Nate, our first charity event, was it not the Veterans game that we did? Was that not a
Veterans game? Has it been 2 years now? Or
I believe I was going to say, I know we've done it twice, but I believe that was our first like big event. Like, so the Bandits are like kind of, from our foundation as far as like a broadcasting perspective, have been very linked to that cause, and obviously something that's near and dear to my heart, and I think the rest of the guys in the broadcasting teams, heart.
Yeah,
so.
Steve Dirk
that one and
founded Battle of the Brave. Yeah, so it's an all veterans game, and the first event that I believe it was the first one that we covered. It was huge. Like, you got the Huntsville Havoc involved, so it was packed out. They squeezed us over in the balcony just to make room for all the fans that were in the building. It sold out, but it was incredible. And I've never seen so much like love and support for the troops in one building from all those people. It was very special.
Well, the first year,
part of it.
the first year they raised close to $10,000, and then last year it was over 21,000. So the response from the people here in the area and those that watched and gave online and all that, I mean, it was incredible.
Full circle, the starter or the founder of that now plays for the Bandits as of this fall.
Oh, yeah, plays with your team, right, Mark?
And so, and he was talking with me, and he goes, "This year we are setting the record for that organization."
Jeez. That's wild. I did not know that, but that's crazy. That's awesome.
Set a new record. So it's been insane.
And there were like other groups associated with that whole movement that were there too, with veterans, still serving veterans and stuff. Like they told me the guy that was coming down, like he's got stars on his lapel. I said, "You mean a general?" He goes, "Yeah." So there was like some very high ranking guys that came in and ladies that got involved. I mean, it was really exciting to see all of that take place. And then the other one was the longest game, which was a big fundraiser for cancer research in the area too. And I think we've done that twice now through the Bandits, which was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that makes me feel really good, just like being up there making dumb jokes. Is that it's going towards like a serious cause that I actually care about. That makes me sleep great at night. I think at the end of the day.
I think it's the only way that you can sleep at night after some of the jokes that you make.
That's very true. That's very true. Very true. Very true.
One of these days, I'm going to convince Landon to let me release some of the banned clips that I'm not allowed to share.
I have told Nate multiple times that there are some things, you know what I mean, that we say that are like funny haha, and then there are other things that are like funny haha that we can't release. And there is a whole. Do you know how Disney, like from time to time, will like take a beloved property and then like lock it in a vault, and they're like, we're not going to release this for 10 years or whatever. That's what Nate does with all of the things that I'm like, Nate, please, for the love of God, don't. Nate, you can't. No, this will end I work in film. You can't do this.
We all have day jobs. We're not looking to lose it.
Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah. Like, Nate, please. Yeah. Oh, I do have a question for you, Mark, though. And I don't know if this is in the itinerary or not, but I've always been fascinated with the idea of how you guys came up with the name of Bandits. Obviously the definition of bandit in Webster's dictionary is a robber outlaw belonging to a gang and typically operating in an isolated or lawless area. I was wanting to know, what about Bandits drew that towards you guys, and you guys are like, no, that's us. You know what I mean? Like, we are lawless outlaws.
So if we go back to when we started this, we were not a nonprofit. Let me make that extremely clear.
Yes, for legal purposes, yes.
And the name was not Bandits. The name was the Backdoor Bandits.
That's so much worse.
And they're talking about wraparounds, got to score on the back door of the post. But
yes, you're not making any headway, but continue, please. Yes.
Start a nonprofit. It's really hard to talk to sponsors and say that you need to donate to the Backdoor Bandits. That's when we became the Bandits Hockey Club.
No, 100%. The Backdoor Bandits sounds like an OnlyFans account that no one is proud of submitting to.
And make sure you subscribe to that OnlyFans account.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, Jacob and Nate worked really hard on that content, and we want to continue to thrive. But no, it literally came down to making it joke. I mean, it's typical beer leaguers. Think about it, all the different beer league joke names that you got up wherever you played. And it was just another round, but it was one that we hadn't heard a ton of yet. And it was like, why don't we throw this up there? And we just did a super generic a Bandits logo that went with it. And I'm trying to remember, my brother, there's an indoor football team out of the north that happens to have a very similar logo. And
Copyrights.
The first moment that he saw our logo, when I sent him the Colorado picture of the Bandits logo on that stuff, he goes, "Oh, you just stole that logo from someone else." Look up this one. I don't watch indoor football.
We'll cut this.
Let's go, boy. At the end of the day, we're a beer league. Come on. No, I hadn't even heard of this team because I don't watch indoor football. And my brother goes, "Oh, you stole that logo." It's one of those. We came up with the most generic Bandits logo name.
By the way,
Mark-
there is a kids Bandits team that has a logo spookily similar as ours, and I'm
Really?
same thing. Yes.
Interesting.
I don't know. I don't know who was first, but it looks pretty similar. It's a skull with the hat and the bandana, and there's his
Well, the kids like us.
Yeah.
I'm not looking to sue some kids, but
Hey, we got to make money. Our nonprofit is in the red. We got to make some money here.
We trend very well in that demographic.
That's actually very true, Mark. I will say this 100%. The Bandits organization is not pro suing children, but me as Landon Dixon, I am actually very pro. I could not say this more. I am as pro suing children as we can.
Mark, real quick, John Jacobs claims to have founded the name in a contest that he submitted it into a hat. And I'm a big John Jacobs guy, so I just want to know if there's truth behind that, because I would love to give him the credit.
Rob Healy presented the name to me, so if something happened between John Jacobs and Rob Healy, I would not be amazed if there was a beer in a parking lot and a name came out. But as far as I'm aware, I've never heard that story. I love John Jacobs, so I will let him have that till the day he dies, and I won't even contest him on it.
Is this the same John Jacobs of John Jacob Jingleheimer Schmidt fame?
It is, yeah.
It is, yeah. So
and
the family line runs through Huntsville.
That is fantastic, because I'm going to tell you something right here, and this may come as a surprise, but John Jacob Jingleheimer Schmidt, that guy, his name is actually my name as well.
Oh, that's my name too.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I go by
That's
Hodges.
great. No.
John Jacobs, we know you're watching. You're already...
It's such a threatening statement, Nate.
I was going to say we're going to give you credit right now. It's now. And you came up with the Bandits.
John Jacobs, we know you're watching. We know that you're looking at us right now.
Well, John actually did watch our last episode, and so that's why I wanted to bring it up, in case he does get to watch it again now that Nate's threatened him. But I did want to give him the credit. Obviously, John also created the Whiskey Chasers, so shout out to John Jacobs.
2 episodes before a cease and desist for threat.
Rude. And suing children and making fun of veterans. No, I'm kidding. I have to stop there.
No, and you guys can see it for the listeners at home. You can clearly see why we have a locked case of things that we will no longer, hopefully, ever release to the public.
So, Mark, we found the Bandits. We're rolling into fall season 2022. I think you were actually the one that maybe moved for the B team, because I originally played all the snipers, and they moved up to the over 40 league, so I just was without a team. And I'm pretty sure, if I remember right, you were the one who were like, you need to go, we're starting a Bandits B team, and you need to go be on that. So that's when I joined, and I really was new to hockey in Huntsville. I played in Nashville for a little bit. I actually played a little bit with Landon. I got Landon to join a beer league team. I played in B in Nashville, which is a little bit higher than B at Huntsville, and he had never skated before, but I got him on the ice.
That's actually a very fun story. I don't know. Well, we can tell it now.
It doesn't have anything to do with anything, but
It has nothing to do with absolutely anything, but it is a fun story. We could save it for later.
Okay. And then I noticed I started showing up to the games, and everyone was like, "Oh my gosh, this team called the Flamingos, they're so obnoxious. They have all these people coming to their games. Their fans are obnoxious." I'm like, "Wait, they have fans coming to the games? These games are at 10:30 at night. That's cool." And like, no, though, they're terrible.
And they were wearing merch.
They were wearing merch, yes, and they were wearing Flamingos like hoodies and stuff, and all this, and they were like building culture around it. And I'm a pretty competitive guy. I was like, well, I want to do that. Like, why can't the Bandits do that too? So I've actually got the screenshot somewhere. I'd have to pull it up eventually, but I messaged our team, and I was like, hey, what if we had play-by-play commentators and started. They just basically come and they roast us, What do you guys think? And I did get a huge response from the team, if I remember right, because I don't think people could see the vision, and they thought it was a little extra. But I ended up reaching out to Guy and Landon. I was like, because Landon's actually my old college roommate. Guy is my old college professor. I was like, what do you think about coming in during play-by-play up beer league team, Ken 30 and not? And you guys just make fun of us the whole time.
And I remember this discussion distinctly because I remember Nate pitching it to me and me being like, what's the reason? Like, I don't fully understand it. And he was like, do you remember that movie Dodgeball? Do you remember the fake ESPN side network called ESPN The Ocho? And I was like, yeah. He's like, I want to do something like that plus Ron Burgundy. I was like, dude, I am in.
Yeah, that sounds right.
And I remember whenever you brought that up, I wasn't on the B team at that time, but it came back down to the OG team of this guy's asking about doing commentary. And I was like, yeah, like, why would we object to it? But like, there's no way this actually happens. And then I was like, I got the tech out. Like, there's no chance that dudes are going to come out here and commentate and video a beer league team. Why would they do that? You know, it's absurd, which is why people love, I think, what they see now is that it's absurd. No one watches this for high quality hockey. No one they come for the commentary. They come for the absurdness of a beer league team having quite literally professional commentators now. Commentators.
Yeah. Well, yeah, since Jacob has joined us, it's definitely professional. But while I was there, I definitely think that the bit was and continues to be, which is the reason that I will show up like as the second that I have free time, I'm like, Nate, I am there, is the joke continues to be funnier and funnier the longer we do it. And the more graphics we have, like the more like the higher the quality of the product does. When we like section between a play-by-play and then a replay of an event that just happened, and then we cut back to us, it just gets funnier and funnier to me. And I cannot tell you how many times that me and Guy have been on the broadcast and I have been reading comments, and I turn to Guy and I go, Guy, there's a guy from Finland that has just commented, why am I watching a beer league team? Why are you guys commentating a beer league team in Huntsville, Alabama? This makes no sense, and I can't stop watching.
So,
You know,
I don't know if
when
God
we-
brought this up, but we've had Australians come to the
Yeah.
that watch us in Australia and were in for business and realized they were in the same city and they came to watch us stream that night.
There was an Australian Air Force guy that was like, I have to meet Guy Schaefer. I have to. He is my idol.
And I ended up knowing him through business connections.
Yeah, I remember that.
And up there, and Guy introduces me to someone. He goes, hey, you may know this guy. I ended up knowing this guy from business. And he's out here watching our stream, you know. And Nate, when you were bringing up merch, you know, so I do a little bit of merch on the side of stuff, and I get upset whenever we don't have the merch that I need on my wife. And I realized very quickly when I had a child that I needed to have merch for my child that we don't even have on the website, so I pay out of pocket. And my daughter,
Oh, shit.
stay high when it comes to merch. So let me tell you.
I need to buy people's one-twos from you from Australia.
And
Well,
no, go Guy.
So that pitch to you, Landon, I'm totally not surprised by that. Nathan did not pitch any of that to me. What he told me was the whole Flamingos thing, and he goes, and these guys are really ticking me off too. They're way better than us, and they are doing way better job at social media, and they've got merch and all this stuff. What do you think if we start doing a broadcast? I was immediately in, right? And I thought I would just be completely sober broadcasting it, because that to me was the fun, right? Tongue in cheek, professionals broadcasting beer league. And I didn't get through the first period with Landon cracking jokes. So I just said, well, I'm just going to be who I am. And if he says something funny, I'm just going to laugh. And I think that was part of the thing that sort of made it fun for everybody else. They could tell that we were enjoying what we were doing up there, but it was absolutely hilarious to see the responses that we got. I remember guys from Canada going, is this in slow motion? I said, no, they're going at full speed. That was one of my favorite comments.
Much like this podcast, there was not much structure to our first broadcast.
Yes, no.
I don't think
No.
I give you guys any direction at all.
No, Nate was a great technical director. He's a great producer in the idea of he was just like, all right, you guys just do it, and do it good, and it'll be good if you guys do it good. So just do it.
I think it was the very first game when Landon said somebody put a polar bear on skates or something, that big tall guy.
Jeez, and that was a genuine reaction, and I stand by that. That guy was huge. It was massive. He was like 6'9" without skates. You know what I mean? No, he's a big guy. And I've said this before. There's a couple rules, and like if you want to be like sports betting, I don't know if you guys sports bet. I do it a little bit. But it's like never bet against Brett Favre. You know what I mean? Never bet against the George Costanza energy that Nate brings to a competitive endeavor where it's like it doesn't matter. Like he cares more than anybody else. So he's like, not only will I destroy the Flamingos, I will embarrass Flamingos with our social media presence. No one will say beer league hockey without the Bandits under their breath in whispered hushes of silence. Yeah.
Yeah, you never bet against George.
No, you never bet against Nate. No, he'll pull it off. And the NHL, I remember talking with Guy and Jacob and Nate at the very beginning of if we could just get on ESPN, like even a little, like just like a clip, you know what I mean? Or if we could even get on like Barstool, like if we could just be featured in like the smallest way. And never in my wildest dreams did I think that an organization like the Bandits that represents a lot of the stuff that I do really like would be featured as a broadcast crew in something like, an alumni game for, some of the greatest hockey players to ever do the thing. It's like, this is insane. This is wild. So the fact that we're even doing a podcast now is kind of crazy. Or the fact that we have, 2 or 3 listeners is wild to me, And I mean, I thought it would be 0, how many people? We have 5. I thought it would be 5, I thought it would be 5 people listening to the podcast thinking, hey, my voice sounds pretty good right now, but no, it's wild. It's crazy.
I remember going up to Sam Witt. What team was he playing on, Jacob? Because they were pretty good.
The Blues, I think.
Yeah. I think they won it that first year we were broadcasting, but his last name was Witt, and I knew he had 3 boys. And so I said, I'm just going to make a joke that his kids were introduced to me as half-wit, dim-wit, and nitwit.
Yes, which is true.
And so anyways, I kind of felt bad later, so I went out and I sent something to Sam after the game. He goes, dude, my boys loved it. I said, okay, well, that's good. Gentle humor, but it was funny.
Yeah, no, I am consistently surprised by the number of like dumb comments that I make or that Guy makes and how it's received. It's crazy in the environment that like we're living in, that the dumb, silly humor that we have is taken at face value of like, no, these guys are as silly as they appear. It's fantastic. I love it.
You guys are 3 years deep at this, and I think there's only one time that I remember fielding a phone call. Someone was taking it rough.
Yeah, I think I remember that one.
Maybe I can guess who it was.
I know somebody got called a refrigerator.
Exactly. That's it.
Yeah, and which one of us would have done that? I think it was Jacob Murphy. I think it was
I wasn't even part of it yet.
That did that. It was probably Nate Harbor or Guy. It was not me. I will say that.
All I know is I'm fielding phone calls. Hey, we called someone a refrigerator, and people are objecting to it. And my initial response wanted to be, have they listened to the rest of our streams and do how much work?
Well, what's funny is I definitely think that, and I've said this before. I think I said this in episode 1, but and it's like very true if you listen to the broadcast. But I think I make honestly far more fun of myself than I do any of the players on the ice, which is very very I think very true for the majority of the podcast. But no, I remember, which is funny, and I don't think I've told you this, Nate, but in high school football, I remember the football coach specifically referring to several players on the team in a loving way of that guy is a refrigerator.
Yes.
He just like walks through people. And that's where that came from, is I saw this guy who's huge and would just, I mean, to be honest, the guy couldn't skate, but would just plow through people. And I was like, geez Louise, this guy just does whatever he wants to. This guy's like a refrigerator.
Well, let me tell you,
a little too much.
that episode was the one that we got a response from a guy named Mike Reagan, who's up in Ohio somewhere, who is much bigger than that guy. And he said,
so we name drop too on the podcast. I think it's good that we send that out.
yeah, he sent some footage of him playing hockey, and I talked to Nate about it, and Nate said, yeah, let's do it. So he wore that as a badge of honor. And actually, the guy also is quite a good golfer as well as a hockey player. And anyways, it had some really cool sort of things that came out of all of that, because we were a little nervous about it back in the day.
Well, that was also our first viral clip. That was our first clip to hit over 100,000 views.
Yeah,
I didn't even know. Well, I never experienced anything like that before. Like, I think our second biggest clip had been like 5,000, and all of a sudden this was like 130. And I was kind of like, oh my gosh, I did not expect this. And I actually sought the guy out and apologized to him after a game. And he acted like he didn't know what was going on. Maybe he was lying. I don't know. But he's like, I don't know what you're talking about. I was like, okay.
Didn't waivers have to start getting signed shortly after? Because that's my first experience of it.
For anyone listening to the podcast, everyone now that is on video signs a waiver. And I'll say, even before that moment, one of the things I've always sought to continue and respected off the gate is when you listen to a Bandits podcast or the stream, and you listen to the commentators, it's the Bandits that are getting hit harder than anything else with the comments. And every single person in the locker room after a Bandits game, it don't matter. If we're playing Bandits v Bandits, everyone's getting hit. Even the losing team goes, man, they make some great comments when they listen to the stream after. Nobody's upset by it. When you sign up and you play with the Bandits, everyone's kind of under the impression now of, we're playing beer league. We are not NHL guys. We're not college guys. We're old guys that just want to drink some beer, play some hockey, and have some good time. And the commentary's going to come. And guess what? I can't skate. I can't shoot. Neither can any of the guys I draft. If we win a tournament, that's awesome. We win a lead. That's awesome. But it's when you guys make comments, you're not coming at us personal. And I've always respected it. Nothing you guys ever say is, a personal life comment, nothing like that.
Yeah.
You guys.
Yeah, no. I try and save all of the personal comments and like personal jabs for pros, that's, yeah. And that's why Nate won't let me commentate anybody that's actually like a professional hockey player.
Hey, listen, we made more fun of Nate at the start just because that was the only guy we knew.
It's true. Very true. Very true. Very
Once we started learning other Bandits players, and we would talk to you guys after the games, Mark, and we could tell if you were like normal or you could take a joke or whatever. But yeah, at the start,
Horrible.
it
Those quotes up.
So, because you don't want to hit guys that you sense are maybe more fragile,
No, 100%. Yeah, no, the last thing that we legitimately want to do is offend anybody. And I do think that if you watch the broadcast and if you come away feeling personally hurt, I'm like, kind of that's on you. I mean,
Yeah.
If you're looking at me and Guy, like me in a turtleneck and a suit coat, being like, well, I know how to play hockey, it's like, I don't know how to help you.
Or people online that get offended, they always say like, "Oh, I'd love to see you guys skate on the ice."
Dude,
There's some clips of guys are all landed.
I will be like, dude, there is very vivid footage of me falling and smashing my skull off of the ice. Like, it's there. You know what I mean? Like, I have concussions to prove, like, I don't know what I am doing. So,
Yeah. That actually scared me when that happened.
oh yeah, dude, I could taste colors for about a week after that.
Hey, and I've had conversation with multiple captains of Bandits teams, and it's like, hey, when you're drafting guys, you build a good team, focus on the camaraderie. I want the hockey, the locker room chemistry comes above everything else to me. Skill comes second. My rule of thumb is we take on one hothead a year because maybe we can settle them down. And I've also talked to the guys and said, hey, if someone's going to be super soft on something like that, and each their own, someone's super soft on like that, so be it, probably don't bring them onto the Bandits, because if we do get a stream, I'm not looking for the entire locker room chemistry to get blown up because someone's upset about what got said on stream. You guys don't have the ill intent. There's no reason. I don't think there's anyone that has a good enough skill level to justify bringing them on if they're going to have skin like that.
Yeah.
Because it's about the locker room chemistry at the end of the day, and that's why the Bandits have been what the Bandits are. This is not, for anyone who watches, the podcast or the rink, this isn't one team. That's why you see Bandits v Bandits. There's, what is it now? It's 5 or 6 teams in Huntsville?
Yeah, quite a few.
I think it might be 6 now. 6 different Bandits teams, or they run Bandits logo or not. They're with the Bandits, and they come back to the nonprofit and the board and everything, and they're part of the Bandits. And it's having that many teams, that's a lot of members, and there's no reason for anything to get blown up. And the fact that every team, you can talk to any random that joins up on those teams, the locker room is the same on every single one.
Yeah, we're just out here trying to drink yoo-hoos. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yoo-hoos and water, you ain't thinking
No. No, heck no. We don't do none of that tomfoolery. No rapscallianism around here. We're out here trying to drink yoo-hoos. There you go,
I
Nate.
had a coworker husband that came out of, I think it's 3 or 4 years of retirement after injuring his knee and shoulder, come back in to play hockey in Huntsville. And so I was like, hey, let me hook you up with one of the Bandits teams in the league he wants to play. And the next thing I do the next week, she comes back, she goes, he's loving the locker room. And it's like, he happens to be in the same league as the Flamingos. And I warned her because she loves going to the games. I was like, don't go to the Flamingos game. I know you all enough. You're going to get heated. You're going to get in. See how eyes don't do it. She went to one Flamingos game and came in the next day. I said, yeah, can't go to another one. I wanted to cuss at her. So I wanted to beat the other team. But everyone knows that then standing up for each other with the Bandits, it's in the locker room chemistry is perfect. I mean, it is a beautiful thing. This is not me talking about, the organization, but if you me from an outsider, you walk into a Bandits locker room, there's no, we took a hit 2 weeks ago. We took the bad boss, and someone came into the group chat afterward and said, I'm sorry I messed up, guys. I'm going to do better. And I was driving home. I have a long drive home. And before I even made it home, someone else had come in and said exactly what I wanted to and needed to. And it was, this is a team loss. We're here, we're having fun. We had a good time playing the game. We did our best. No, this is not on an individual. And seeing that across Bandits teams, and the captain doesn't have to step up. The other team members step up and just make sure that locker room morale is up. That's what beer league's about. And I know pretty much everyone on this call, Landon maybe only a couple years, has played a good bit of beer league.
Oh, I've embarrassed myself.
That's what it's about, and I love seeing that out of the Bandits as an organization.
No, 100%. I would love to see Bandits like all over the country. It would make me so proud and so happy to be a part of this organization in any meaningful way, to have like Bandits in Texas and Bandits in California and New York and like all over the place. Like this is, I do genuinely think that this is something that can spread and will spread given the time and the exposure that it deserves. Because I think it's just so fun. It's just so unique and so weird and just so awesome. So yeah, I'm just very happy to be even a part of that.
I hate to hear that it's unique, if that makes sense. I respect that the Bandits locker room could be everywhere and that it wasn't.
Yeah,
it's that the fact that it is unique is a little bit sad to some extent. It's not about winning every game when it comes to beer league. It's about having a good camaraderie and having boys to sit down with once a week and blow the steam off.
Yeah. Well, listen, the Bandits, whatever it is that you guys have, has resonated through the camera and onto YouTube streams and stuff. Like when we had the guys from Nashville come down and play us, and that was a hotly contested game. Like it got really, really going there at the end there, and they ended up beating us in the last few seconds. But there was a guy on the team that Landon gave a nickname to.
Yeah.
And we saw that team last summer again in St. Louis. And he came up to us specifically to say, hey, you probably don't remember me, but I'm Smurf. And Landon goes, yeah, I know exactly who you are. And we gave him that nickname. And he said, my whole team, they'd call me that from now on. Like that was this branding and this brotherhood and stuff. And that all came out of that broadcast when we were doing that back in Huntsville when they came down and played. So that's another thing about the broadcast and the Bandits persona. Like those two things just melded together so nicely. And it's had really a good effect on a lot of the stuff, games that we've done, I thought. So it's been fun.
And how genuine it is. It's the people. I've seen a few comments where they think some of the games are scripted, especially the Birmingham game. You come down last second, someone overhit time.
Oh, I mean, how can you not think that that's scripted? Like, come on, that's crazy.
I can't blame them for thinking it's scripted, but I'll tell you,
Yeah.
one of the guys that got heated on the eyes, that was not scripted. I do not have a sister. Comments were made about my sissy. So yes, things were very real on the ice. Every time you see things things are very real. But I'll also say, whenever you step off the ice after playing the Bandits, I personally and a lot of my guys make a way of, hey, go into OG and let's have beers together after the game. Everything ends when you leave the ice, and as it should. It does not always happen that way. And every team, every league, all that, it should. And that's one of the things I personally work really hard on, because I can get very heated on the ice. As soon as my skates leave that ice, if I finally get the doors, everything's done. Let's grab beers afterwards. We're all good. Let's have a drink, and we played hockey. We're happy to play hockey. That's all we're looking for.
Yeah, Mark, me and you have become good friends. We've never played together, and we've played a lot against each other. And you have done a lot of shenanigans to me in front of the net and in different places. But you always, after the game, I mean, a lot of times I hated playing against you because I'm like, this number 11 guy, and you got those new gloves. I'm like, look at this kid with those gloves. And you were always giving me the business. But as soon as the game would end, you're always so kind, so genuine, and that's how you and I have become good friends, is after the games, because we just took what we did to each other on the ice. We would hate each other forever, but, you and Taylor Presley and a couple of the other guys on that team, man, I mean, just such great people, individuals. Klukie's a great guy. I mean, you really do a great job off the ice building a culture, not just with your team, but the entire league. And I know when I played with the Snowmen, I mean, Garrett, Edgar, and myself, we wanted to beat you guys more than anything. But after every game, we had so much respect after playing you guys and loved to hang out with you after the fact. So
I just want to say, in defense of my gloves, before Red's post, I had 1988 Eagles that had been repackaged 6 times. And they finally hit the point where all my fingers were blowing out the side. So yes, I bought new gloves, and I bought nice new gloves, knowing that I was going to try and make them.
aren't they like gold or something? They made a statement. I saw them, like, I didn't know who you were well, and I saw the gloves. I'm like, who does this guy think he is? He's a piece of shit giving me stuff.
I ordered them through the pro shop, and they were supposed to match the tan of the jersey that we had.
Are you talking about Pro Stock Hockey, one of the original sponsors of this broadcast?
A little bit different. The one at the roots that I used to work for. But no, it's supposed to match the tan of the jerseys. And I was like, oh, that'll be slick. Because Nate, his green gear and everything, he was matching up. And I was like, man, I want to look slick. And I ordered tan gloves, and they come into like the Knights gold type of glove that I'm like, not quite what I ordered, but I'm going to tell you now, I've taken a lot of pucks off those gloves and I don't feel anything. So I'm gonna keep running until the day they die. That's an easy one. That's
Mark, by the way, I've got your Men's League sweaters brand new pant shell.
So I don't get messed in.
and I'm
So.
just itching to get.
Ooh, speaking of Men's League Sweaters, an almost sponsor of this podcast. Men's League Sweaters, you've been with us from day one. We appreciate you. We love you. We would love some sort of sponsor in any way, shape, or form. Men's League Sweaters, we love you.
Landon, the Bandits are the official Men's League Sweaters team. That is.
Really? Are we really? Dude, that is so crazy. That is absolutely wild, and I'm so happy. This goes to show you how little I pay attention to almost anything that happens in the Bandits organization.
You said pro shop? I thought you said pro sock.
Pro sock hockey, by which I mean, of course, Men's League Sweaters, the premier brand, I believe. Dude, Starbucks coffee, one of my favorite cups of coffee, only second to Dunkin' Donuts, unless Dunkin' Donuts will give us money, in which case Dunkin' Donuts, America runs on Dunkin'.
We need to hire somebody to represent.
Real quick, I don't like what is it, Yoo-Hoo hot chocolate or whatever it's called. So let me tell a quick story on that. Real quick, but let me tell you why. We were in third grade and we had them here at the lunch table or whatever. Anyways, the kid said he could drink like 10 of them, and everyone kept giving quarters for him to buy more. He threw up everywhere. It was disgusting. I've never been able to drink it since. I didn't even drink anything, but we kept feeding him money because once he got to 10, he's like, I don't feel so good. And we kept, I think he drank like 12, or we were cheering him on, banging on the 10. He threw up everywhere. It was terrible.
That's like blaming Mayfield for being like, hey, I drank 4 gallons of milk and I threw up. Mayfield is bad.
No, I'm just saying, visually, if you're sitting there as a kid, it's pretty traumatizing to watch one of your fellow comrades throw that stuff up. So I haven't drank it since. But I love Ovaltine, big Ovaltine guy. So maybe Ovaltine, bring him back.
No, be traumatized. Yoo-Hoo for the win, 100% out of 100 times. I have drank so much Yoo-Hoo. I've never thrown up over Yoo-Hoo. It's actually a fantastic product.
I just want to say that Jacob is showing his age by saying he only paid $0.25 per year.
Oh, actually, dude. Mark, you are 100% right. That is the thing that we should be talking about. $0.25 for a Yoo-Hoo? What?
I don't remember.
What, you're from the Great Depression? Hell, what's going on?
We were giving the quarters. I don't remember it.
I just want to say, coming from Canada, I had my first Yoo-Hoo in the States, and I was shocked and chagrined at how bad it tasted.
At how great it was? Dude, I'm not going to sit here and listen to this Yoo-Hoo slander. I'm not going to do it. I don't know how this podcast has devolved into pro or anti-Yoo-Hoo enthusiasts, but...
That's dividing.
I'm glad me and Guy are on the same team.
Dude,
It's the only chocolate milk that comes with a warning on the label.
I'm pro Yoo-Hoo till I die. Whatever to say.
Not recommended for people under 12.
Is it not chocolate milk?
It's not chocolate milk, it's shelf stable.
So it's water that has crap in it?
How dare you? How dare you?
I think it's an MRE.
Pretty much it. That's for a long time.
Great alcohol, you.
Here's what I'll say. I don't know what is in you, and I don't need to know. I only know that Yoo-Hoo is fan.
RFK sponsored Yoo-Hoo.
RFK's brainworm says Yoo-Hoo is 10 out of 10.
Hey, Landon, as soon as you won that contest, you were Yoo-Hoo for life, baby.
And I'm Yoo-Hoo, and I'm telling you, I said it before, I'll say it again. Yoo-Hoo till I die. Yoo-Hoo 10 out of 10. I am Yoo-Hoo sponsored.
I'm sorry when I started. Anyways, get back to Mark's interview.
Ovaltine can suck a dick. Can I say that, Nate? Nate, can I say that? Nate, can I say that? Did I say that, Nate?
Yeah, bro, that's a hook to a clip right there.
Ovaltine can get bent, okay?
You know, this is why you come out here with no video camera. Your mom put your camera on.
I'm from the South, dude. Yoo-Hoo.
You probably like crystals, too.
First of all, crystals gets a bad rap. Okay.
Wait, what is that? That's not Krispy Kreme. What's Crystals?
No, Krispy Kreme will spray.
Dude, I can't stand with you on this one, Landon.
I'm not gonna lie, Chris. Okay, I will 100% relent. Crystals is not great. But you
The whole slider.
Midwestern or White Castle.
Yoo-hoo 100%.
Oh, okay.
What does he say that the best part of this podcast is talking about Yoo-hoo and crystals?
Hey, I thought it was great. That's really shitting on Mark's performance.
The only thing that I can say is I am 100% happy that we can all agree that Ovaltine is garbage.
No, Ovaltine's
Ovaltine, oh, I've got vitamins and minerals. Oh, okay. Yeah, dude, get out of here. Ain't nothing in there. Powdered. Get real.
Spit out my water.
Yeah. Hey, I like to drink powdered cardboard too. Yeah. UV for life, dude. Get out of here.
Whatever, man.
And then I get yelled how loud I am on pot by my wife just to get rated for how good you.
Listen, put out a poll. You or Ovaltine?
Guys, this is me. I'm going to give you a third entry into the chocolate milk.
I mean, that's good. That's good stuff. What's the other one? Sweet.
Oh, yeah, Fairlife, cool. Yeah, check it in 5 years when you've left it outside. Yeah, I thought so. Yoo-hoo, 10 out of 10. Never undisputed.
I'm going to Google best chocolate milk.
Yeah, it's Yoo-hoo. You don't have to Google it. I'm here right now.
Oh, God, it's a picture of you. Get the hell out of here.
Dude, I'm not even joking right now about Yoo-hoo.
Oh, no, Promised Land. That's a good one. Yeah, I like Promised Land. I'll drink.
I'm actually a very big. We talked before for the audience at home that are still listening, and thank you, sir, for actually staying with us for this long. But no, we talked about bourbon earlier. We talked about pros and cons and different brands that we like. Chocolate milk. I am a big chocolate milk enthusiast, as much, maybe more so than I am a bourbon enthusiast, and I can say 100% of the time, Yoo-hoo top number one. You know what I mean? Yoo-hoo for life.
Well, listen, I think if you are a chocolate milk manufacturer, you need to send us some test samples.
There you go.
A legitimate taste test on what we think is the best of the chocolate milk. And we had great success with the first one we did with Lake Hour.
I think we do a taste test, and the top.
Blind taste test.
Hey, I'm looking at you, Nesquik. I'm looking at you, True. I'm looking at you, Trader Joe's or organic specialty options. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, get real.
You take.
Try me.
Whoever gets number one, number two, number three is the second start of the game in the locker room for the next year with the Bandits.
There you go.
There you go.
Dude, I could blind test some chocolate milk, and I'll tell you 100% what's what. You're going to come at me with some chocolate milk rolling past? I'll tell you what's what. I'm going to tell you which one's I just want it.
No. With the blindfold on, and then he does pick Yahoo. Yoo-hoo.
Flip that where guy wants to see Landon with a blindfold on and just
Flip that. Hey, chat. Flip that.
Flip that.
Hey, chat, flip that. Go ahead, flip that, chat.
That.
If you're listening at home on an Xbox turn off.
No, we got to start saying Alexa codes. That'll really bug me.
Hello, Alexa. Hey, Alexa, Google turn off, please. Is this helping our algorithm, Nate? Nate is looking at me like he is so mad.
I don't know where we're at right now with the
Yes, yeah, that's fair enough.
Yeah,
Hey, at the very beginning of the podcast, we talked about what the name of the podcast. Name of the podcast, Chocolate Milk.
there you go.
Here you go, guys. In the comments, name our podcast, please. How about that?
Yeah.
Nate, by the way, love your hat. Just want to say, is that the Edward Jones hat I gave you? Very nice. Always.
Hey.
I got to get another one.
I started this Smurf, and I turned it slowly, and you didn't notice.
I know. I noticed from the beginning, Nate. I just didn't want to be selfish and make it about me. But this is derailed, so I'm going to make it about me for 10 seconds. I'll always do.
I did one.
Also, Mark has a sponsored hat. Only Coots, right?
only Coots, baby.
There we go. See ya.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's two flat brimmed hats that are slightly bent. Yeah. If you want to get a flat brimmed hat that's slightly bent, come on down.
Oh, there we go.
Slightly bent flat brimmed hats.com.
The Havoc. I like that you keep the sticker on there, guy. Very fresh of you.
That's what the kids do.
Yeah, exactly.
I think it's left the upper and lower sticker on, which
Upper and lower. Upper.
Just in case he wants to return it after this.
Boys and girls, do you like a flat-brimmed hat, but you don't want it that flat? Ladies and gentlemen, can I introduce you to Slightly Bending It? Look to your top left and top right. That's Nate. That's Mark. They've got slightly bent flat-brimmed hats. It's not how it was intentionally meant to be worn, but it's how they're wearing it right now.
came this way, so I didn't even have my.
I can only imagine what hat Guy is grabbing right now. He's got to be grabbing the rush.
Yeah, none of this is going to make the episode, and that's fine, and I'm good with it. You know what I mean?
Oh, no, Nate doesn't know how to clip anything. All I do is grabbing a hat. Let's see here.
Nate's got two teddy bears in his hand, or Guy's got two teddy bears in his hand.
Oh, look at that. That's swaggy.
That was my trip to Canada this summer.
Nice. Nice. No, we like that.
Yep.
Do you have any other merch that you'd like to show?
Guy is Canadian, but he bought.
And this is my trip to Denver.
Yeah, almost heaven.
West Virginia.
Yeah, there's the thumbnail. You Guy.
Well, Mark, as we wrap up, tell us how people can donate to the nonprofit, what it benefits, what it's all about.
So, banditshockeyclub.com. It's that simple. Hit us up. You know, and whether it's a view or donation, just support in the comments for what we do, you know, things like that. You know, it's every single person on the Bandits board takes $0. We work, yeah, and Jake said, I'm its president, my vice president. We work full-time jobs and have families, and we give up a lot of hours to the bands. Support, even without money, is a loss. You know, for us to continue just to keep pushing this, donate if you can. We are a 501c3, so it is a write-off if you need it. But just go on there, donate. It goes directly back into the Huntsville community. And what we're looking to do this year is sponsor at least one, about two veterans to get from not playing hockey to get gear, and the startups are playing into hockey. So the money's going to a good cause. No one takes anything out of it. You know, it's one of our biggest things that a lot of people in the Huntsville area know is we do the Rocket City Draft Tournament. It is, I'm going to say, the cheapest, and don't sue us, I think it's the cheapest draft tournament you can buy into. You know, the first year we did was $100. We actually lost money. I think it's
nice. No, I'd want to put that on the internet too. Yes, good.
Well, no, I'll be upfront. You know, lost money. Yeah, that's how we're not looking to make margins. We're looking to literally help the community and let people play hockey and grow in hockey in the Huntsville community.
Well, I've loved our relationship with you guys, Mark. All the teams I'm sure would have been great, but the fact that we got to be Bandits at the start of our broadcasting was just a huge deal, and I've loved every second of it.
And we love having y'all.
I would also like to add, I love Yoo-Hoo more than any other chocolate milk brand, and I love chocolate liquid product from Yoo-Hoo more than any other chocolate liquid product that's out there.
I just love when Mark threw out that moniker. It is shelf stable.
So shelf stable, it's great. Yeah. No, 100%. Yeah, no, Bandits are awesome. They're a great organization. If you can donate, please do. So yeah, couldn't say more positive things about them.
Yeah.
Amen.
Harris B team almost won a game last week. So.
Almost, and isn't that the Bandit style that we've come to know and love? Bandits almost won a game. That's fantastic.
So close to success, but still reveling in defeat.
We'd love to see it.
Because we're top 2 in the league, and we had 50% of our team strict after last year. So
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
5 Pete.
We're praying. That's all we can do.
Well, I think we need to be there for that game. We got to cover that. We got to cover the 5 Pete.
Win, loss, anything, I think we do the championship run through the flip.
Yeah, I think so. Keep us up to date with that, Mark. We'll try to be there. Awesome. Landon, close us out, buddy.
Hey, everybody, if you enjoyed that podcast, please like, subscribe, donate to the Bandits organization. It's a fantastic organization. If you're Yoo-Hoo or a Yoo-Hoo representative, please sponsor us. We'd love to see that. Any other brands that are out there that would like to give us money, big brands like Walmart or Starbucks, please do that. This has been the Unnamed Podcast about hockey, specifically in Huntsville, Alabama. Ladies and gentlemen, keep your sticks on the ice.